Hi, everyone. Thanks so much for joining me today. Today, I wanted to talk about breaking down the call to action. It's that thing that we're all supposed to do to get people to do the next thing we want them to. And sometimes it can be, perceived that it's a little complicated to come up with one, but it's really not so bad, not as bad as you think. So I want to kind of break it down for you, help you out with some tips that might get you along the way with a better call to action than you currently have, and maybe some things to think about as you're continuing to develop it for your business or nonprofit organization. So let's start with what it is. So a great call to action is kind of the next thing you want people to do, the next action that you want them to take. Remember all those verbs that we learned about in grammar? Those are the action words that you want people to act upon and do. So using those verbs and those action words are important. There are things like subscribe, get started, try it for free, learn more, join us, donate, volunteer, share. Those are all things I think we're pretty familiar with on buttons on the bottoms of sides of pages that get us to do the next thing. But what makes a successful call to action? There's a couple components of it. First, a successful call to action is something that's really super concise and clear. It's really no more than 5 to 7 words. It's not a full sentence. It's not even, a complete sentence. It's a thought, but not a complete sentence. So really wanting to be very hyper focused on the words that you use to get people to act and do the next thing. A good call to action also has some sense of urgency to it. So there's like a limited time offer or a certain period of time to use a discount code or to sign up for something. It's also something that helps to create value. So let's just say someone's been on your website where they just heard you speak at a presentation, and there is great value in the words that you have provided and maybe the topic that you've taught on. But now you want them to do the next thing. You want them to subscribe or you want them to sign up for something. Maybe think about offering them a free tool or something that's related to the content that you just presented on that can help them continue to feel value in what's going to happen next. So creating content that's valuable, an item that people feel like they need, that value should really address a pain point, something that people are uncomfortable with, or they feel like there's a barrier that your tool or your doing something and acting in some way with your call to action is going to help them solve that, or it's going to help address it. So those types of things are kind of important to think about. You could also use something like a giveaway, that you're going to give somebody a free tool or a free subscription for a period of time, or a downloadable worksheet or something like that as an item to get them to sign up and to do something next. A lot of companies use free trials as a great way to guide customers through that customer journey and get them to do the next thing, which is to sign up for something, even if it's simply subscribing to their list and helping them add, more customers so that they can market their upcoming products and services too. Some other samples are limited time offers, join today for a 14-day free trial. A lot of organizations and companies use discount percentages with expiration dates. So again, creating that sense of urgency that you need to do something because it's going to expire. It's not going to last forever. Maybe a free course download. Also, referral programs are a really great way to build a sense of urgency with your call to action. A lot of times you might see maybe you purchase something from a store or a business, and then you get this kind of follow-up link or email that shows up that says, get $10 off of your next purchase if you refer a friend, and they get $10 off their first purchase. Referral programs are a really great way to create a large number of people and a following, especially if you have a good deal or something that they feel is of good value in exchange for them signing up. So back to your verbs, use your action words. Call to action really stays in the present tense. So you want to make sure that the words that you're using stay in the present tense. And, think about how you would talk to a friend. What would you say to a friend? How would you talk to them? What are the words that you would describe if you wanted them to do something or get involved? Those are the types of things you want to think about when you're creating your call to action. So the benefits of a good one. There are a lot of benefits if you do this right. It can definitely help guide your visitors through that customer journey, which really means, what are the steps that you want them to take in order to become more and more familiar and comfortable with you and trusting of you so that they're going to come back as repeat visitors, repeat customers, and send their friends your way. So the strategic call to action is something that can really help guide your visitors through that journey. And I would recommend, we could probably cover this in a different discussion, what that customer journey looks like for you and some things to be thinking about, but outlining what you want the customer to feel from the moment they first interact with you, whether that's through an ad or your website or maybe some type of video or social media. And what do you want them to experience the entire journey along the way to a sale, and then through the process of getting them to purchase again. So map that out a little bit, but your call to action definitely should support those steps, and it should allow your customers to kind of gradually go through the next step you want them to take, and that should feel kind of familiar and normal to them and not something that's taking them by surprise. A great call to action, some of the benefits of that can also be that, it really helps you build your list to market to. A lot of companies, organizations build their donor lists, build their customer lists, with valuable information that maybe they have that they're willing to share in exchange for someone to share their contact information and sign up. A great, thing that we all see is in newsletters, especially if you find an article or content really, interesting, you're more inclined to click on that subscribe button and sign up for a newsletter or sign up for updates. And if there's value added to that, such as, you're within the top 500 people, maybe there's something extra that you get. So creating that urgency, but also that value kind of ties back to building your marketing list and being able to have a following of people and an audience that is invested in what you're doing so that you can continue to market to them. It also helps, that call to action also helps convert your visitors to customers. And if you have the right call to action, there's a very high percentage chance that when someone visits your site or social media or wherever it is that you might be posting or sharing your information, that they're more likely to engage with you if the call to action makes sense, if it's timely, if it has some urgency to it, and there's enough value in it. So it can help in a great deal with that conversion rate between your visitors and your customers, increasing your subscriber base and even your donor base. If you're a nonprofit organization, I know I've talked about some of the things related to fundraising and appeals, but if you have a really great call to action that focuses on someone making a donation or volunteering because there's a sensitive time frame to fulfill a need or impact a specific cause or a community, you're more likely to get someone to sign on and stay on for additional content from your organization if there's value in what it is that you're providing. And that value could be, simply updated impact metrics or stories that you're sharing or other ways that people can connect with something that tugs on their heartstrings or a charity that they love. So I hope that's helped you today with some ideas about a call to action. Feel free to please, add any comments. I'm happy to respond and answer any questions you may have in helping you develop yours. And if you'd like to learn more about what we do, visit www.mymabs.com. It's MYMABS.com. Thanks so much.